Yeah, welcome back. I am Atu Brentishan and this is Prime Testimony Channel. I promise that we will continue with this discussion. We are looking at things Africans usually take for granted. In our earlier submission, we looked at children's view not being looked at or being taken for granted. We look at time management, we looked at learning styles, we look at breakfast that we take for granted and others. We are still discussing the issue. All right, Dorcas, what else do you have for us?
Okay, so I have also observed that in Africa, especially, most people take for granted their health. But we have to bear in mind that a healthy life produces more things for us.
Okay.
If you are strong, is when you can go out and work.
Yep.
And then get what you can depend on. Sometimes we feel the symptoms of sickness coming to us, but because we have other important things doing, we think our health is of no importance, and then we ignore them. You could hear some people say, I can hear my head aching so much. Then we just enter maybe a pharmacy, or we just enter our purse or our bags and pick some paracetamol, and then it reduces the symptoms.
Okay.
But we should bear in mind that once you hear any pain from any body part, it could be a serious issue, giving you the sign, a serious issue in your body, giving you just a slight sign of an headache or a stomach pain or an arm pain or something. So we must check on our health very well.
All right, there's this popular expression in the social media, we are the legends. Legends. Things that people take it serious because out there in Europe and America and other places, if somebody has malaria, he'll be quarantined.
Yeah.
But for us, you realize that he was sick. I don't you think that sometimes because the person hasn't got the money to go to hospital, or it's mere,
money too is a factor.
indifference. Oh, okay.
Money is a factor.
Money is a factor.
And then our time, we value our time more than our health.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us.
Okay.
We value our time more.
Okay.
So even the time I will go to spend at the hospital there, I will not value it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because I'll have something doing to get me money. And then most of the times, the men fall victim in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I see.
We don't like going to the hospital at all.
Especially for
Even
checkups.
For checkups.
Yeah.
Even at the critical points,
All right.
it will be difficult for us.
Let me ask this question. Is it true that there are some men who have never been to the dentist in their lifetime?
Oh, a lot of them.
A lot.
What about the women?
Oh yes, I can say for women too.
So which
Yeah.
means that until we see the teeth removing
Yes.
before.
I myself is an example because
Okay.
I hadn't been to a dentist before.
Oh, okay.
But I practiced this oral hygiene at
Hygiene,
home
okay.
and everything.
Oh, okay. I see.
Until I started feeling sensations in my teeth. And then it was unbearable before I visited the dentist.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
I think this one is a common and normal in
All right.
Africa.
I wanted to ask you a question, but I'll ask you, but don't answer. As to whether there's any difference when you kiss after visiting the dentist, or there's no difference. This one I won't let you answer.
Okay.
Yeah, when you kiss after visiting the dentist, whether you feel when you're feeling special when you're doing it, they mean misabo. Hey, you feel brother sacrifice. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. So what are some of the issues that we take for granted?
Okay.
You want to add to the health or
Yes.
Okay.
So with the health too, the checkups, there are lots.
Okay.
There are lots of issues when it comes to checkups. And I think it can prevent a lot of sicknesses when we do most of our checkups.
All right.
There are times that we think we are fine, but in 2 weeks or in a month later, it comes back again. And that money that was used is going to be used to solve that problem. When you went for the checkup, it would have been less.
Yes.
So I think the checkup is very important.
Okay.
Okay, so to add to the checkup, I had this experience, or I witnessed an experience where this person wasn't sick, was walking normal and all right, but adheres to his review at the hospital. So whenever the doctor say you are to see me maybe on 31st, this person goes. You are to see me first, this person goes. Not knowing one of the lab tests that the person did and went to show to the doctor, the lab test showed that if this person was to be have lived for about a month or two, the person would have died. But the person was strong, doing everything, did everything by him. You couldn't even see the person was sick. So quickly when the doctor saw the lab test, the doctors did something about it, and the person lives till now. So we could see that these checkups and those things, and then when we hear or abide to what these doctors say, it helps a lot. But in Africa, we are limited, and then we can't follow this principle, and then we die untimely death, because the money that we are going to use in this checkup, expensive lab tests and those things, can do other things for the family, for ourselves, and other things that we think that is more important than for instance, you are going to spend 1,000 cedis just at once for a lab test. Meanwhile, you are having a building that needs maybe a door which is maybe 250 cedis.
Or something a prophet has told you that you break it.
Exactly. So you rather use it for these things rather than to invest in your health. So I think part of the problem is not for us. Right. It's not from us.
All right. Okay. Yes, Babs.
Yeah. So my point has to do with role modeling. For me, even when I was young, there was nothing that came to mind about role modeling. It was till when we started working with children, and then we realized even as children, we need role models. We thought, so role models is something that we really don't pay attention to as guys. Personality development is the next point I would like to talk about.
Okay.
So it also works hand in hand with learning styles. So if you know the person, how the person is, you don't come and always complain about the person's attitude. Instead, you help to train the person or develop or reduce the negative aspects. Okay. So that is one thing we have to also pay attention when it comes to us Ghanaians or in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Agent.
Few ones I'll add to the personality development. I will refer to the working force. Okay. Most of us, when we have the job, we intend to be stable over there. We tend to be okay, but you have to develop yourself wherever you are now. Let it be part of you that I'll have to be somewhere tomorrow. In that case, I'll have to develop myself by reading more, by having more courses, by applying more into other schools, so that you will gain more knowledge to develop whatever you already have today. That's the few one I will add to it.
Okay, so what I will add again to the personality is it helps us know the kind of career path we should take. So most of the times we get into careers that we are not really into. That is where a lot of people are redundant. They come to work and do anything at all. But if we're able to know the kind of people we are, then it will help us in our career path as well.
All right. What can we say about reading? The legends. Yes.
There's a saying that in Ghana, if you want to hide something,
it's even in Africa.
Yeah.
In Africa.
In Africa. Put it in a book, because reading is very, very, very difficult for us.
I see. Is it because we cannot read, or is it because we don't like reading?
We don't like reading.
Because we don't like reading.
Oh, okay.
And the majority don't know how to read.
I see. Yeah. Usually people...
I'll talk about the reading. The reading, I think, is from the foundation.
Yeah.
So when people in Africa don't get the reading foundation, then you don't expect them to exhibit it when they get to a stage where it requires them to read. Because in this basic school, the kindergartens and the primaries and those things, when you get there actually on the ground, you see that they are not really practicing this reading styles and those things to equip them for the future, to be able to stand boldly and read as they should.
Yeah, but even those who are well educated, those who have gone through a lot of schools, still people still don't
So
like read.
that is what I'm saying, that it started from the beginning.
Okay, so it
so
has not
maybe
become-
Odru baby, then it was forced on him or her.
Okay.
So if you see them educated and those things, it wasn't really part of their upbringing. Just we should pass through it, and then we have passed through it. So to this stage, even though we are well educated to a certain level, this one,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. We are still looking at things Africans usually take for granted. What can we talk about investments? Usually people in Africa, we usually complain our salaries are not good, our incomes are not enough. It is true in most of the time. But what do you think is our attitude towards investments generally?
Okay, Mr. Ato, let me begin over here.
Yeah.
It's because we usually fail to budget.
Okay.
One basic thing that I will urge all of us to do is that at the beginning of every month, you need to budget your expenditure. So whatever thing that you have to do, it has been documented. In that you don't go out there to make impulse buying. I didn't hear but because the marketer has been able to convince you.
Yeah, I have to.
You have bought that, and then you get home, you realize that that's in the crisis and I hear me.
Yeah.
So you end up spending your investments.
I see.
So once we budget, and then we make sure we invest part of our salaries.
Oh, I see.
We invest part of our income. By so doing, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years to come, you see that you have gotten something in your account.
I see.
Because at any point in time, you need a backup. Unim the emergency baba. So you need a backup. So you don't spend everything. And the only tool that will guide you is your budget. Every month, I will urge everybody to at least do a simple budget towards your income.
So if I understood you, it's not like
Nyame
God will
yes.
provide. You will need to budget.
Yes.
Babs.
Okay, so me too, I have a question for you, Jim.
Okay.
Okay, I can budget, all right. For instance, the way the situation is in Ghana, now I'll budget for rice, 60
Okay.
cedis.
Exactly.
And then I go and then the rice is like 80 to 90 cedis. So what about that one too? That one isn't my fault. Maybe I've made up my mind that the 20 or the 40 left, I'm going to invest it. So that one, what happened?
But at least you budgeted, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all
But-
right. All right. But the budget
So-
is bravo. Do we really budget?
But
Generally,
I'm
It's a
saying
difficult
that-
thing. It's
don't
a
look at
difficult
yourself
thing.
as educated people. Generally,
It's a
how-
difficult thing.
Please, Uncle Ato, I'm also thinking that sometimes we think it's too little to go and invest.
yeah.
We think,
We think it is too little for us.
someone see the way made it to our investment then. But we've forgotten that little drops of money makes a mighty ocean. Because I heard most men would say, then we are missing them or plan mad I know. Because Uncle Ato, we all agree that building a house is equally another investment.
Yeah.
When you build a house, or see you 500 cedis, so we didn't mean then you use it for another thing. Meanwhile, you can buy one cement bag and then hire the laborer out of these 500 cedis and then do something. That is when you have the land, which some people have, but they think, say, we're dynamic pessimist, it being bad. I know of one man who had the land and even had some materials, iron rods, and then there are some blocks. We're dynamic, but me planning.
Special building.
Until this man is gone, he's dead, left the wife and the children with no shelter to live in.
It's not good. It's not good to procrastinate.
Yes, and then he was, not that he wasn't getting money, he was getting money. He could have bought the cement and hired the laborers to start doing something. I praise my mother a lot for where we are staying, even though it is not anywhere, but is
That is
good.
where we come for
She has
your
provided
engagement.
us-
You get a place to sit.
Yes.
No problem.
You get a compound to stay,
Beautiful.
not a lounge to stay, like a hall to
Yeah.
sit, but you
Yeah.
get a
That's
compound
cool.
to stay. She really tried and did something, and then she put us there. She wasn't having anything, but she tried. On one cementer, then she will beg the mason, then the mason goes to do until she got somewhere for us to go and live.
Okay. All right.
So don't think that small is not this thing.
Yeah.
Myself is an example. When I completed SS and I knew that there wasn't any help to go to the university, I was doing a work for somebody. So what the person gave me, I try and go to the bank, because at that time my mother had helped me to open an account. So every week I'll go to the bank and then save the little. That time I was saving, like we were using those old currency, 50 CDs or those with that
Yeah.
blue money.
Okay.
I would
50,000.
walk or pick a car to the bank, just give that little amount. My mother would be like, until the coin no more J. And I said, yes, it's money that I'm adding up to what I have. By the grace of God, when I was going to the university, I can say that I bought everything out of that investment I made then. And then they added something small to push. So don't think that little is nothing.
All right.
It is something.
The young lady out there, young men out there, boys and girls who are students, I hope you've heard the testimony as the Dorcas is sharing. Sometimes it's not a matter of something big. Whatever, pocket money that they give you, you can save part of it. And we don't need to get them in millions before we're able to save. So thank you very much, Dorcas, for sharing this testimony with us. You are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. Keep listening to us. Welcome back. We are still on the same issue. Barbara and Eugene, before we round off, I can see there are some points. So pour out all the points that you have.
Yeah. Uncle Atu, I have one interesting point I want us to share and discuss. It has to do with the labor force,
Okay.
especially the subordinates, the least ones we have at our various institutions.
Okay.
The cleaners, the drivers, the laborers, the errand boys, or the messengers. Most at times, we intend to
Demean them or something.
yes, we
Take them for granted.
we take them for granted.
Yes.
But we should take it now at the back of our minds that without them, we can't also survive at the
Exactly.
workplace. Whatever work that they're supposed to do, they will do that, and we will come and sit in. Even at times, you need a messenger to get you something very important at the office. And if you underrate this kind of employees, what will you intend to gain? So it's one thing that I want to put before the house, that these people that we work with, we need to have time for them. We need to appreciate whatever time they spent with us, and then whatever thing that they have to do, we also have to give them what they deserve. This is one point I want to raise. I want my sisters to also add some little points to it, so that it will be a build-up.
I always say that we have to respect everybody equally. Not that this person is a cleaner, so I have a standard of respect for somebody, for that person. And because this person is the manager, okay, let me give this standard of respect to that person. No. Give the respect equally. For instance, I meet a child, and then I say, hello, I mention the child's name. Good morning. Meanwhile, the child hasn't even thought of greeting me. It's a respect I'm giving to the child. So if I continue this for some time, and the child meets me, maybe in another time, the child will quickly want to do what?
Emulate.
Yes, emulate what I have been doing. So when you give respect to these people at the workplaces, which we say they are the low working staffs, we have given them names too. low working staffs, non-staffs, such and such. When we give respect to them, it makes a productive contribution to the work, because the person is happy about the way boss is with me. The person is happy. So even if something is going wrong at the workplace, the person tries to shape it, because boss there on the main bonnet. So yes, I have to do everything so that this work will go on. And then the person will feel so important in the work that he will add some joy to the work. I know a driver. The driver does his work so diligently just because of the relationship between him and the administrative secretary, not even the boss. So the administrative secretary respects him so much that even when the driver is tired, he doesn't feel it. He will just call, Madam, Ochna, because of the relationship. Yes. So it is very important to respect these people. And then the names we are giving them, please, let's not even mention them as we do, because it doesn't suit them.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Barbara.
So my colleagues have said a lot, and what I want to add is that the body is made up of different parts, and without one, we cannot function. So what I would want to say is that it's true, we are all equal, even though we are not equal at the same level, or when it comes to academics, when it comes to schooling, or when it comes to money or other things, but the way we treat them is very important. And that is how, when you treat them well, it's going to help you and your organization. So my uncle, he works in Accra, and one guy did a very good job. And what I'm saying is that till today, the guy stays in my uncle's house. She has given birth to 2 children. They are twins. And yes, the Kai, and they are all, and she's there with her husband.
Oh, good.
So everything that she does, he's the one, just because of the way she was treated. So if we do such things, it's going to also attract a lot of blessings to us.
Angela, there was a video that went viral about one security man who rescued a senior staff. One senior staff was locked up in a freezer, the cold room.
I heard it.
Yes. So this security man at night, he has come on duty. So one of the duties is to also go around to check whether everything is in order. So this man heard a noise in that cold room. The senior staff over there was really suffering, but it took this security man to rescue that man. Hey, there is somebody in this room, and before the day will break tomorrow, that person cannot survive. So security man will say, yes, security there, but look at what Nyame Efa Papa is. So they are all very, very important.
That's very, very, very important. God created man in his own image. And because of that, we have to respect everybody. That is why it is important for us not to look down on anyone. Wherever you are there by grace. Friends, I will encourage you not to take any human being for granted. So should we not take anything in life for granted. Because to a greater extent, your success depends upon some of the things you take for granted. My name is Atso Brentishan, and I want to thank you very much, Dorcas, Barbara, and Eugene, for joining me to have this beautiful discussion. I believe we will have opportunity to look into this very topic or another topic another time. Until that time, I'm saying, God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Put it up.